in today's review we are looking at this fantastic looking pre-grouping livery tank engine from Hornby, and this is the South Eastern and Chatham Railway H-Class. It's a 044, and as you can tell it is in its pre-grouping livery, which from here looks amazing. I've had this model since it first came out in 2017. It only came out for 1 year, this livery and number. Hornby have done it for several years since in many liveries, and the product code for this is R3538, and like I said, it came out in 2017 and it is era 2, this one. I believe this one isn't a preserved one, it's just a standard regular one. So in this review we'll see if it's still a good model, saying it's at least 6 years old, and is there any issues with the model. I know this one has had 4 motor changes. The early batches seem to have motor issues, but hopefully that's been rectified. And is it worth the money? So let's get into the review and see what it's all about, shall we? As we start off at the detail bag, in the detail bag you got the brake rigging that you need to add to the loco. You also get some vacuum pipes or air pipes by the looks of it, could be even a steam pipe. You also get something that I think for the push-pull system that goes on the side of the locomotive. That's in there as well, and I think originally you did get the front coupling or the front and back coupling anyway. I've added them already, so they're not in there, but you do get quite a bit. It does match the underframes as well, the brake rigging does anyway. As we move on to the front of the locomotive, there's quite a bit to see here. We do have metal sprung buffers, which in my opinion are a nice touch but slightly pointless unless you're using 3-link couplings and stuff like that. They're quite pointless. We do have the number of the locomotive, which is 308 in the South Eastern Chatham lettering system. The buffer beam itself does have lining around it in yellow, and the major bit is in red, and so are the housing for the buffers there in red as well, with a black background. We do have a septiplied hook which has a black background and also painted in black as well with some lining around it. That is nice. We also have one of the couplings from the detail bag. Pity it's not in the Indian red livery or paint scheme, it's just in black. But that is there. We also have, I think, air pipe or vacuum pipe there, which is separately applied and is different to other companies. That is great. Moving up, we do have 3 lampines there. We also have some caps to fill up the sanding gear that you can just about see them. They are there. We also have 2 steps just before the smoke box door to help the crew get in and out to clean the front of the locomotive. The smoke box dart itself is separately applied and is picked out in silver. So are the smoke box hinges and bracing. The smoke box door does not open though, but they are there. We do have a handrail which is separately applied and in black. We have a lampine at the top, and then we have the chimney. As we move on to the side of the locomotive, both sides of the locomotive to me are exactly the same, but apart from this side has some differences for me. We will start off at the wheel configuration, which is a 044 wheel configuration. The chassis itself is Indian red livery with yellow lining. That is nice. That's also on the steps as well. It's a nice touch, and also at the front of the boiler. We do have some gold piping near the rear bogie that is separately applied as well. The steps itself are in that line, like I said, with black steps. Does look the part, does look nice. The actual livery of the locomotive itself is green. It's in the South East and Chatham Railway green. Does look nice. If you look onto the tank, we do have the South East and Chatham initials with the crest in there, which does look great. Very crisp, very, very nice. Moving in, we do have what I believe is a Westinghouse pump. That is there next to a gold pipe. That's the only difference. Like I say, the other side doesn't have the Westinghouse pump. We do have some motion inside. Doesn't move, but it is picked out, it is painted, it is nice. On the front splasher, we do have gold banding with some more lining, and then we also have a builder's plate in the centre. I think it's Ashford Works. The number of the loco again is on the bunker, which is 308. We do have some sanding gear as well, and brake shoes, and all that is all down the bottom. The wheels themselves have been picked out into the South East and Chatham lining that the wheels had. As we move on to the cab area, which I think everyone looks forward to, the cab does have glazing front and back. At the back you can see the bars to stop the coal going through. That is nice. The front does have like a gold rim on the windows. The back one could possibly too. Moving inside to the cab, everything is painted from the brakes to the regulator to the dials to the water gauges. It's all there. It is nice. We do have some cupboard space for the firemen as well at the back. We also have, which I think, if I got this correct, wood flooring effect going on. It was a little hard to see, but I think it's in there as well. So it's a really high class cab detail there from Hornby. As we move on to the bunker at the back of this tank engine, we do have metal sprung buffers, much like the front. We also have that lining again with the housing in red with a black background. We also have the number of the locomotive, which is 308. We have the hook as well. We have a vacuum pipe too, already applied. We do have some irons, I believe, to knock off stuff off the tracks. They are in the Indian red, I want to call it. That is there. We also have a coupling as well. Moving up, we do have 3 lamp irons. We also have some lining on the back of the bunker, which is in the South Eastern Chatham style, which is fantastic. Moving up to the coal protectors or rails, we do have another lamp iron there as well. As we do a bird's eye view of the locomotive, the coal itself I don't think is removable, but if you wanted to add your own stuff you can, it's easily done. The coal load isn't too bad, if I'm honest with you. The cab roof itself is in black. There is a moulded vent which is slightly open and it's there. We do have some rain ducats to stop the rain going on the crew. We also have a plastic whistle which is very, very delicate. I think I might have slightly snapped mine because I'm a little bit heavy-handed. The safety valves themselves, I want to say, are plastic as well, but they are painted and it's red with a brass or gold style base. Moving along, the dome itself I believe is separately applied and is polished or really good gold painting. Just a shame the safety valve wasn't like that. It is night and day. As you can see, we have the livery of the locomotive with the lining from the South Eastern Chatham. We have a gold band at the front of the locomotive just before the chimney. We also have the water filler caps on the tanks. We have the sanding cap at the front of the locomotive that I mentioned earlier, that is there. The chimney, I do believe you can look down if you want to put a smoke unit in there. We also have that handrail going all the way around, and you can also see the buffers as well. And finally, as we do an underneath look at this lovely locomotive, as you can see it does have that Indian red livery going on at the bottom. You can see some of the sanding pipes as well there, and a few steps as too. You can see the couplings are in black, which is a little off-putting, but they are there. The rear bogie does have a base plate, but it looks like it got a couple of screws. I do believe that they may have pickups. I know you have to oil it, so it could have pickups in there. I am unsure. The instructions won't tell me either. We do have 2 screws on the base plate at the front with the big wheels for the pickups there to clean and stuff like that. We also have pickups on the 4 driving wheels, which makes me think even more there should be some pickups on the bogie as well, but I could be wrong. You can see the holes where the brake rigging needs to go. So yeah guys, that's it on the tracks. Next up will be just the points test. Because this is such a small tank engine, it can do second radius and probably first. So there's no point me trying that, there's no issues with that at all. So here comes the point test. What's that? 40? Seems a little high. And backwards. Again, a little noisy, don't know why. It could be the motor having issues. Again, 40. So yeah, it managed that points test pretty well. So next it will be some slow speed, and I will find it a train to pull. So here goes. Again, 40. So no, it's actually the speed's okay. This is DC ready, and it's like 4th motor. So yeah guys, that's the end of the running session and the review. Before I give my opinion, I do what I normally do about this time in the review, and that is to tell you what the loco was pulling. First off, the loco was pulling some South Eastern Chatham Railway from Rapido, their rolling stock. They have some wagons. We also had a Bachmann dancehall brake van, again in the South Eastern Chatham Railway livery. And then for some fun to extend the rake or extend the train, we had some Dad's Army stuff, because I believe they were based down the south of England. It's just some fun, don't take it too seriously. Then, as you just saw, we had some coaches, which were the 6-wheeled full brake Hattons one, and I think that's the Great Northern one. Then we had some Southern Base Graffar or Graham Farish TEAK coaches, and to me it looks a nice train. This is a suburban passenger train, so it looks quite nice to me. So I got mine from Rails of Sheffield when it first came out and I wasn't banned. And I think I paid about £160, £140, something like that when it first came out for this livery. And I was pleased with the livery. Very nice livery, very nice locomotive, looks stunning. But my only issue I had with mine was the motors. The first batch of motors failed quite fast. And now I'm a 5th with this motor. It gets sent away to Hornby very regularly because the motor keeps going. That's why I try not to run it, even though it's such a nice model. If you to buy a H-Class today from Hornby, you are talking £158 for the Southern Black version, and you are talking £146 for the early BR one, which again, if the motors are sorted, that's a great price. It's a very lovely looking model and it ran quite smooth, as you saw. But if you get this from a model shop, you are talking £142 for the Southern version again, and you're talking £131 for the BR one, depending on your model shop of choice. That's roughly the prices you are talking. These South Eastern Chatham livery ones do come up occasionally, but they seem to fetch a higher price on the second-hand market. Hornby should re-release in this delivery, especially with the 01 coming out by Rapido. You have the C-Class, you have the H-Class, well, this is the H-Class, you have the P-Class. So why not? Like I said, the only issue I had with mine was the motor. Failing that, this is such a lovely looking model. It probably is the prettiest model I have in my fleet. It's so nice. But again, for this one, it's just the motor issues. Like I said, I think Hornby have fixed that issue now. But that's the only one I've got to say about the issue I have with the motors. And it's out there on RUNNIIng Web and other people's review of the first batch. So for me, if they have fixed the motor and you really want one, yeah, get one. They are a lovely runner, such smooth, lots of details, and they can pull quite a lot, but I just thought I'd do a small train, didn't want to stress the motor out or anything like that. I wish other manufacturers would do more Era 2 locomotives and liveries. I think that's where the growth of steam locomotive is in the hobby. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comment section and I will reply. Hopefully I'll see you in the next review, so please take care and goodbye.